Hey everyone, today I'm going to take a look at the first part of the Reavers of Harkenwold. This adventure came with the Dungeon Master's kit that was released in October of 2010. The kit included the Dungeon Master's book, hero and monster tokens, 2 poster maps featuring 6 locations from the adventure, a DM screen, and this adventure module. The adventure itself comes in 2 parts. The first deals with the setup and things that are happening in the Harkenwold region. The adventure itself concerns a lord that is trying to take over the region. He has hired a group of mercenaries called the Iron Circle to get people in the Nintervale to kneel to him. They are starting in a region known as Harkenwold and will eventually expand into other areas. The adventure is split into 2 32-page books. I'll be focusing on the first book in this video. The first several pages of this book provide background on the adventure, including the events that take place in the second book, and then you get a few hooks for the characters. The next few pages are a really nice campaign guide for the Harkenwold region of the Nintervale. You get nice maps and descriptions of each key location, including Albridge, where this adventure begins, and then Harken, where the next adventure is primarily set. The adventure is really a mini sandbox. The party finds themselves in Harkenwold and come across a farmhouse that's being attacked. After dealing with this, they can explore the rest of the region and get quests from the people that they talk to. You have the option to expand the campaign with your own quests, and it even says that you can rework these quests to fit the plans that the party comes up with. Next, you get a good summary of the key NPCs that the characters will run into during the adventures. I always like when they provide guidance on how to roleplay the NPCs. And then we get into the details of the encounters themselves. These do not necessarily need to take place in this order. The first one listed is the combat encounter at the farm. This is the one that kind of starts off everything, so it's likely that this will be the first encounter that they play. The next encounter is a combat encounter at a tavern where there's a brawl amongst the patrons and the party, as well as the members of the Iron Circle. One quest that the party will try to get early on is to disrupt the Iron Circle's supply lines. This encounter involves the party setting up an ambush to try to stop the caravan. Next, the party's work has been effective at getting the attention of the leader of the Iron Circle, so he puts out a band to hunt the party down. This comes to a head at an abandoned farmhouse where the group that is hunting the party finds them, and then a combat encounter ensues. This next encounter is meant to take place earlier in the adventure. The party has an option to do this encounter or to try to ambush the caravan. Whichever they choose to do first, the other can be done later. This one involves defeating a band of bullywugs that are loyal to the Iron Circle. The next encounter is actually a continuation of the prior encounter. It uses the same map but covers the areas to the back of the cavern where the leader is. And then getting full use of this map, once the leader of the bullywugs is defeated, then a raiding party returns and does battle with the adventurers at the entrance to the cavern. The next set of encounters start when it is suggested that the party will need the assistance of the Woodsinger Elves in order to win this fight against the Iron Circle. First, there was a role-playing encounter to try and convince the Woodsinger Elves to join into this fight. The leader of those elves says they will join, but first the party must run off this evil wizard that has taken over their sanctuary. So the party then goes off to the standing stones and fights some goblins, and then has a bit of a puzzle to figure out how to activate those stones. Once they activate the stones, then they get access to the sanctuary. And first they must fight some goblins, and then they enter the wizard's lair, and then eventually will fight the wizard himself. Once they defeat the wizard, then they can return to the Woodsinger Elves, who agree to join the party in the fight against the Iron Circle, and that sets up part 2 of the adventure. I like this adventure a lot. I love the detail that it provides about the Nintervale, and it sets up a really good story. I also love the maps that came with the kit. All of the locations that you need for the encounters in this book are covered on those maps, which is excellent. If I had a complaint, it's that it's a little too combat focused. There's a little role-playing scattered about, but really it's basically one combat encounter after another. If that is what interests you, then this adventure is actually very good. I will take a look at part 2 in a future video. Well, what do you think? Have you ever played or run Reavers of Harkenwold? What are your thoughts about 4th edition or the Nintervale or the Essentials line? Let me know down in the comments. If there's something else you would like me to cover in future videos, I'd love to hear that down in the comments as well. Sign up for the newsletter. You get a free one-shot adventure module when you join. Subscribe to the channel. Until next time, take care.